Shalom Aleichem Rabotai. The Mishnah Yomi continues with the Mishnah for Shabbat Reeh, which is an especially amazing treat. It's really a bracha, it's really a kiss from Rebbeinu Shalom, who loves us and loves it when we learn the Mishnayot, because Reeh has the parsha of Maaser Sheni. In Aliyat Chamishi, the fifth Aliyah is all about Maaser Sheni. So the psukim that we're going to read this Shabbat are actually the psukim we're going to be using in today's Mishnah Yomi to explain the halacha. Mishnah Hey, halokeach mayim. Someone has maut Maaser Sheni money, meaning he had produce of Maaser Sheni and he redeemed it onto coins that have inherent value, and then he buys water. And he goes to Yerushalayim and he buys water with it. Melech, or salt. Perot machayv in the karka, or he buys with it items that are still attached to the ground, or items that aren't going to make it to Yerushalayim. He bought them outside of Yerushalayim, and they're going to rot by the time they get there. They're not going to be edible. Lo kana Maaser. This is not a kinyan. The Maaser Sheni money is not considered spent, and he has to go back and return this merchandise. He has to return whatever he bought and get the money back. If he can't, he's got a problem because he has to use other money in the same value to buy Maaser Sheni in Yerushalayim, valid Maaser Sheni. These purchases are not valid as Maaser Sheni. So why would these things like water and salt and things attached to the ground and things that might rot before they get to Yerushalayim, why are these not valid? Great. It's a pasuk. It says in Reeh, this is Perek 14 and pasuk 23. You'll eat before Hashem. That means Yerushalayim, Rabbosa. Whenever you're in Yerushalayim, you are definitely before Hashem. We're always standing in front of Hashem, Rabbosa. When you're in Yerushalayim, you know it. The place Hashem will choose to dwell His name there. Maaser de goncha tershcha v'yitzarecha v'chorchot bekarcha v'tzonecha ya'alaman tilmad lira et Hashem Elokecha kol yamim. So this is, you're going to eat there from your grain, your wine, your oil, your flocks, your cattle. So you'll learn to fear Hashem all of your days. So Maaser Sheni we see is also a segula for Yirat Hashem. So that's pretty good. And then further on in pasuk 26, the Torah explains what can you use to spend the money on. V'natata hakesev b'chol asher ta'aveh nafshecha. You can use the money, the Maaser Sheni money, on anything that your soul desires. Babakar uvatzon, from cattle and flocks. That's from large animals and smaller animals. V'yayin v'sheichar, from wine and sheichar is a great word because sometimes it's translated hamar atik in the Targum. That means aged wine. Sometimes it's translated beer, and sometimes it's translated as hard liquor. V'chol asher tishalcha nafshecha, whatever your soul asks to eat. You'll eat there in Yerushalayim before Hashem, and you'll be happy, you and your household. So this pasuk is an example of a Clal, prat, Clal. It's one of those midot that the Torah is indreshet bo. Clal, prat, Clal is a generalization, a specification, followed by a generalization. Because here the Torah says, whatever your soul wants. So no, that could be anything. Then it specifies babakar v'tzon v'yayin of sheichar, with the cattle, the flocks, the wine, and the schnapps. Whatever your soul wants. So what we learn from a klal par klal is what's included in the klal, in the general category, are items that are similar to the pratim, items that are like the specific. So here it's animals, kosher animals, and wine and schnapps or beer. So all of these things are edible. It sounds like a great party. That would be a great party in Yerushalayim with our fleishigs and our wine and our hard liquor. That is going to be awesome. Bezrat Hashem. Both in Yerushalayim soon, coming soon. So those items are all items that are edible, that originate from the ground. They grow out of the ground or are sustained from the ground. They're not going to rot by the time you get them to Yerushalayim, and they're not attached to the ground. So that's what we learn out. So these other items, water, salt, items that are attached to the ground, items that might rot, these are not valid purchases for Maaser Sheni. The Mishnah continues, he buys produce outside Yerushalayim by mistake, he has to get a refund. Mazid, on purpose, yalu v'yachlu b'makam. He has to go up and eat it in the place. Now, like we said, the makam shevchar Hashem is the lashon of the pasuk. So he has to go eat it in the place, meaning in Yerushalayim. It's interesting; it doesn't say Yerushalayim. It's possible this Mishnah was first formulated before Yerushalayim. It might be an extremely ancient Mishnah from before the time of David HaMelech. Just theorizing. Imein mikdosh yirkavu. If there's no holy place there, there's no makom, then they have to rot. So bizman hazeh, that would be the matzav until we get the temple back. Good Mishnah Vav lokeach behema shogeg. He buys an animal outside of Yerushalayim. He has maut of Maaser Sheni. The money has kedusha of Maaser Sheni. He has to take it to Yerushalayim, but he made a mistake. He bought a behema outside. Yachzru d'me'elim kaman. He has to go get a refund on the animal. Mazid, on purpose, he spent his Maaser Sheni money on purpose outside Yerushalayim. Oy tale v'toch b'makam. He has to schlep it to Yerushalayim. In ein mikdash, if there's no base of mikdash, there's no place to do this, to cover all yedei ora. It has to be buried with the skin. You can't use the hide because he's bought this animal, and the purchase price that he spent the Maaser Sheni on includes the hide. Shabbat shalom, rabotai, sei gesund.